What was your first experience with a modular synthesizer? When I first started playing my modular, I worked at a job that often put me home after midnight. I would get home, go power on the system, and patch until 2 or 3 a.m. or maybe later. My patching style at the time was haphazard. I often had no goal in mind other than seeing what made the machine tick. What happens if I modulate parameters with a clock instead of CV? What happens when I clock a sequencer with a VCO? Can I build a whole patch based on maths, gate outputs, patched to opposing trigger inputs, like a little perpetual motion machine? Hey, there it is, one of the first videos I ever shot of my own system. Anyway, I often found myself half asleep, slumped over in my chair, entranced by the places the synth and I were taking each other. Sound and vision that nobody else heard and that I would never hear again. Now somebody will ask, was I composing? Was I making music? Or was I just breaking glass over the floor of my room and seeing where the shards fell? Did it matter? Around the time I started working for Make Noise, Kelly and Tony were interviewed in Tape Op magazine. Tony said the following, which I've edited for time. So much of music technology today is designed to do some specific task. What's gorgeous about the modular synthesizer is that it's the exact opposite of that. Often at trade shows, people will ask me, what problem is your product solving? Typically, I say that it's creating them. This product does not solve a single problem, unless you say it solves the problem of inspiration. It provides a great deal of that. So the modular can create some beautiful sounds, and it has been used for many specific musical purposes by a lot of great artists. But it is also, at its core, a set of connections without any prescribed use. It's an end in itself. Here we have, in a VCO, a set of waveforms that are always on, always going, waiting to be patched into like taps at a soda fountain. They're raw. We get to decide how these waves will be sculpted, and the other modules in the system give us the power to do so. We can shape functions by hand to create patterns that are constantly moving and changing. We can sum simple functions together to make more complex movements from simple components. we can derive gate signals from those functions to generate other events in time with those patterns. There's a magic here that can't quite exist in any 16-voice polysynth preset with effect chains. Those polysynth presets can sound great too and can be just as useful or maybe more useful. But for me, and I think perhaps for you too, there's a special joy to be had in building up complex structures from the relationships between a few simple elements. Back in those early days, there were times when I loved so much what I heard that I hit record. There were many, many other times when I didn't have any particular goal in mind and didn't need one. I wasn't trying to make hits or even any kind of cohesive musical statement. I was just living the connection between circuits, the connections between the circuits and myself, the connection between playing and listening. There was no audience, and there may not have even been a performer. And lately, I've been breaking glass in my room again. I've learned a lot in my years with the modular synth. These days, I have a much clearer idea of what's going to happen when I patch, and I'm much better than I used to be and faster at using it to develop particular musical ideas. But I still find that it's worth it to try things that I haven't tried before, just to see where it takes me. I learn something every time. I hope I've managed to get across a little bit of what it is in particular that I love about this instrument, the modular synthesizer. And I hope that if you've had similar experiences or different ones, that you'll share with us in the comments as well.